He's deprived this world of two incredible angels that would have done more than what we could imagine.
Today, the man accused of murdering a beloved couple in New Meadows in October of last year pleaded guilty. 29-year-old John Cody Hart was charged last year with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the killings of Rory and Sara Mehen. The Mehens owned a local inn and were very involved in the community. News Channel 7's Abby Davis talked with one of Sara's cousins today. Abby, what did he have to say about that plea agreement?
Well, Shira, Lance Evers supports the deal, although it will never bring the Mehens back. He says justice will finally be served. Nearly 10 months after tragedy struck the small town of New Meadows, Idaho,
It just broke me.
Lance Evers says there's hope for justice.
He'll be in prison and he'll be able to pay for his crime.
Evers is talking about 29-year-old John Cody Hart. Hart pleaded guilty on Friday to the first-degree murders of Evers' cousin Sara Mehen and her husband Rory as part of a plea agreement. The beloved couple owned the Hartland Inn.
What I miss is what could have been. What could have been is just would have been, I know it would have been amazing because her and Rory together was a force to be reckoned with.
Evers says that force was taken too soon. Police say Hart shot the couple at the inn where he was a guest in early October 2022. Court records show Hart drove to Idaho while on probation in Washington state, where he's accused of violent assault charges. Documents show he was schizophrenic and deemed mentally unfit to stand trial for that assault case. But a Washington judge let him out of jail in July, 3 months before the shooting, while he waited for a bed to open up in Washington's psychiatric hospital.
He's sick and he needs help, but it's not the type of help where you give him help and you let him out to go get help.
As part of the plea deal, the prosecution says they're no longer seeking the death penalty. Instead, they recommend life in prison without parole. Evers agrees with the decision.
He'll be able to spend the rest of his life in prison as opposed to having his life ended and not being punished.
This happened in October. How do you begin to heal?
The healing hasn't even began. I still cry. I still get water in my eyes. When I think of her, I still get that lump in your throat that hurts so bad when you think that she's not going to be around.
Even though Sara and Rory aren't here anymore, Evers says their legacy lives on.
Well, here you have a powerhouse of a couple that were entrepreneurs and that wherever they went, they touched everybody. And Sara made you feel like you're part of the cool kids with just love and understanding and welcome. And that's the same with Rory. He would do the same.
The Adams County Sheriff's Office said in a statement they would like to thank the Mehen family and the devoted community for their patience and understanding. Prosecuting attorney Chris Boyd told me over the phone a lot of negotiating went into this plea agreement. He says avoiding the death penalty was Hart's primary goal. A judge will sentence Hart this fall.
Yeah, you just feel for those families, especially Lance there saying the healing hasn't even begun.
Yeah, it's just devastating, Shira.
All right, thanks, Abby, for sharing that.